Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Monday night at Darul Ma'arif al-Islamiyya in Kareli, Allahabad, UP, India. Monday, the 5th of Ramadan, 1444, corresponding with the English date 27th of March 2023. Hazrat Wala opens and starts off this majlis with the ayat of the Quran Majid, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyamu kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Thereafter, Hazrat Wala goes on to say that this is the kitab of Hazrat Taraweeh. And this particular topic that Hazrat Wala now chooses to speak from the works and the articles of Hazrat Taraweeh is based on the ayat that he had just quoted, that O people of Iman, fasting and roza has been prescribed upon you just like how it was prescribed on the people before you, so that you may achieve and get taqwa. So the first point here is, by giving such a type of an example that the people before you had done it, Allah Ta'ala first and foremost is saying that the people before you have done it. So someone before you had already done it. So it is easy that they could accomplish it. So like how they tolerated, you also tolerate and you should do it. So the first point there is that Allah Ta'ala is bringing ease upon us, that listen, it's not something new. The people before you have also carried out. The second point here that is worthy of noting here, that it is that of musabaqat, trying to bring some type of enthusiasm, rather some type of a josh within you, that listen, not just doing it, if they could do it, I mean, all the more, badarjai ola, you must do it, musabaqat. Why? You must compete, because you're supposed to be better. Aren't you khairu ummatin? Isn't the decision of Allah that you are the best of all nations? So if they could do it, all the more you should do it. I'm saying here, badarjai ola. Sometimes Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to use some terminologies and difficult words, due to which people used to say that, Hazrat, you're saying this and that, we don't even understand your words. And he says, Ilzami Jawab, spontaneously he would answer and say, yes, just like how you people use these hard terminologies, these English terms and this and that, and I don't understand. Similarly, you people don't understand. But the difference is so much that I am not muhtaj of that which you are speaking about and those terms and terminologies, rather you are muhtaj of what I am saying, because I am teaching Quran and Hadith. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to enter the masjid, and then people used to stand up out of making ta'zeem and honoring him, and he would go on to say, why are you standing up? What's wrong with these people? This is the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here we show honor and respect only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Didn't I tell these people over and over again not to stand for me when I enter? And then one day he came and they stood up again and he said that to them. So they said, but Maulana, my entire life I worked for the government, and all these personnel used to come in, our seniors, and we had to stand up in front of them out of respect. Can there be anybody more greater than you? They were there because they were officials and we had to stand up. But you are greater than all of them. That's why we are showing respect to you. And also another point is that Roza and Siyam wasn't given immediately. It was after some time, rather during the days afterwards, when it was revealed, the Siyam, the Roza, when it came. Another reason is that now it has come to you. Now, all that we have discussed there, Allah has made it easy for you. You're going to compete with the other ummats, etc. So, Now make qadr of this great ni'mat that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you. So, O people of Iman, fasting has been made compulsory upon you, like how it has been made compulsory on the people before you. So make qadr, appreciate that. And the example of it is, you have been given this year so that you can traverse and cross this path and this journey of yours. And then the example that Hazrat Taraweeh is giving is that a person is then given a conveyance. He's given a bicycle or something that he can move faster and he can complete his journey and reach his destination. That's the absolute example of Siyam and Roza. That you have been given this so that you can reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example here also, so amazing, one point after the other, it is like that of a compassionate father who is giving his son some type of a laxative, so all the rot or whatever is troubling him in his system, it can all come out and a complete detox can take place, and then thereafter he can be completely now empty and pure, and whatever we give him now, the body can then take it in. Allahu Akbar. So Hazrat Taraweeh is giving the example that my own father on one occasion gave me this type of a laxative, and हमारे वालिद साहब ने बचपन ने मुझे मुस्हिल पिलाना चाहा, तो मैंने इनकार किया, I rejected it, and then he said to me, I want you to drink it, and if you drink it, I'm going to give you 1 rupee. And then I thought to myself, listen, if I reject now, forcefully I would be given that a laxative which was so bitter I didn't want to have it. I would be given it forcefully, and that 1 rupee will also go. Therefore, I had to drink it, and therefore I had it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala similarly, for our own need, this is our need, we need it, and so that we can become correct, Allah ta'ala has prescribed fasting for us as a detox, so that we can get rid of all the contamination. And not only that, together with that, even though it may seem somehow some type a bitter or this or that, we are going to get an in'am and a reward for it. And if we don't have it, there's a warning as well. Allahu Akbar, kya tikana hai. So wonderful. Look at the example that Hazrat Taraweeh is given. Is inayat wa shafqat ka wallah wajh ke qabil hai. With this compassion and this gift from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it actually sends a person into a spiritual state. Hazrat Wala is also saying, okay, let's continue, that you have the Kaaba. There is nothing, there is so much of kashish and like a magnetic effect that Allah Ta'ala has kept in the Kaaba, and by merely setting your gaze on it, you will be definitely rewarded for it. Once I was sitting in the Haram, and a person takes he has some dust on his forehead or maybe even on his spectacles, and then he cleans it, due to which he can enjoy a clear view of the Kaaba. Hazrat Wala then after that went on to say, and there were mashayikh sitting there in his majlis, and he said to them that if we remove the dust that has settled on our hearts, then we will be able to enjoy the batini fuyuz and the barakat of the Kaaba. Allahu Akbar. So this Kaaba, on it all the time there is the fuyuz and the barakat, because of the barakat of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wassalam, that can still be enjoyed right up till today. Also, Hazrat Maulana Qasim Saheb was so mukhlis, and he established Darul Deoban with the dua of Hazrat Haji Imdadullah, and because of that, like how a person has said it so beautifully, that Maulana Qasim Saheb established Darul Deoban And therefore the deen has become so common today. One day there was a buzruk sitting in the haram, and after a while he sees another buzruk, due to which he comments, "Oh ho, you have entered the haram." That's why that had led to the Kaaba having even more or an increase in its nur. I used to think to myself that people, how will they go now to the Haramain? You have to pay exorbitant amounts, 100,000 rupees, or this or that or the other. But when I ask and when I investigate, there are lines and people are still waiting for their chance so that they can go to the haram. Allahu Akbar. So this mazmoon is such, and the inayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his shafqat is such that it actually brings about a wajd in a person. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to speak about one of his ustads in Darul Uloom Deoband. Late at night he used to be making mutala, and then when he used to find the subtle points and these ilmi nikat between the lines, and he used to become so happy. He was looking for something and then he found, then this type of an ecstasy and wajd, spiritual kayfiyat used to overwhelm him. Allahu Akbar. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is prepared to give us Jannat for the siyam that we are carrying out. Such a type of Jannat that ma la aynun ra'at, wala udhunun sami'at, wala khatara ala qalbi bashar, that no eye has ever seen and no ear has ever heard of, and wala khatara ala qalbi bashar, and it has not even passed the thought and the heart of any person. Our ulama and mashayikh have even given this type of an interpretation, that such type of ulum and ma'arif will be given in the akhirat to the people, rather to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well, due to which they have never been ever given this ulum and this ma'arif ever before. Khak samjenge wa zahir bhi rumuz ma'rifat. What will he ever understand, this person that only looks at the external? How will they ever understand the secrets of the recognition of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Who by and large hamesha shahid bazar ki baatein karte hai. They talk about the talks of the marketplace. Hey, this happened today and that happened today. So in Jannat, all these things will be completely and totally different. The ulum and the ma'arif will be different. When a person will eat, he's eating the fruit from the tree, it's in his mouth, he's biting it, he's chewing it, and at that very same time the same fruit is hanging on the branch of the tree. And if this is not the case, then it will be against the grain of the eternity of Jannah, which is la maqtu'ati wa la mamnu'a. There will be no separation, not even for 1 second, because Jannat is Darul Baqa, the abode of eternity, and this place here is Darul Fana. You cannot even compare the ni'mats of here and there. There is no comparison whatsoever. So there will be heat, there will be some type of difficulty, this and that and the other. However, Allah Ta'ala has made it easy. And if a person can just not manage, then he cannot manage. La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. So it comes in the Hadith Qudsi, Ana inda zanni abdi bi, I am according to the thought that my servant has of me. So when a person carries out ibadat, he should also be a talib, and he should have anticipation in his mind. What do you call it? Ihtisab, hoping for the rewards that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised him. Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb, he had really aged at that time there, and he was very weak. Then too he used to keep his rozas with so much of lutf. In fact, to such an extent, when Hazrat Maulana Abrahul Haq Saheb used to come, he used to say, hey, Maulana Abrahul Haq Saheb is coming, don't tell him that I'm roza, because he'll say that I'm mazur. Why am I keeping roza? In fact, if I used to go and visit someone, I used to say, Hazrat, I'm going to visit and make iyadat of someone. Then he used to say that, no, I'm coming with you. Allahu Akbar. So now let us make dua also, that with this roza, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us that taqwa. And every day we have to see that is there any change in my akhlaq? Is there any improvement in it or not? Is my akhlaq becoming correct or not? And what is the taqwa that we wish to achieve? It is that the kayfiyat comes into you, imtithal awamir, that you obey the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ijtinab nawahi, you stay away from the prohibitions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now that taqwa which is desired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala bless us with that. With the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we read, and so many amazing points we read from the sabak today, which Hazrat Tanvi has mentioned. Rather, it brings happiness and delight to me. And all of this year, we're doing this year so that the winds of taqwa will then start blowing. Allah ta'ala, in the true sense, Sahi Maana mein, gives us the tawfiq and the hidayat of carrying out our salat and our siyam. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.